or if you have a comment or question, send it along to us at issue, News 12 Long Island, 1 Media Crossways, Woodbury, New York, 11797, or email us at news12.com. Welcome back. We're talking about the rise of gangs on Long Island, and what we learned in the last half hour is that once parents find out their kid might be in a gang, if they're not successful in keeping them out, there are resources out there and places to go where people will help you. And even if you're a kid in a gang and you want to get out, right, Valerie, there are places to go.
There are resources.
Can you get a kid out of a gang?
A kid can be worked out of a gang. A kid can go on with their dreams. A young person can do things other than lose their life and be incarcerated, as long as the support systems are out there to help them, programs that will show them other ways of doing things, that will occupy their time between 2:30 and 10 p.m. at night. They need resources, and they need people that are there to show them that there are their dreams, that they want to be doctors and lawyers, that they can continue to do that, because that is still their vision. They don't lose that vision because they're in a gang. They see themselves having a future, but not really understanding the impact of what may be happening at that young age.
Do sometimes, Valerie, families have to take drastic steps to get kids out of a gang and be willing to do everything it takes?
Absolutely. Families need to know that their kids need to come first. Whether it's they need to live with a relative, or they need to leave the school district or the community which they're living in, that sometimes needs to happen in order to keep their children safe and to get out of the gangs.
Kevan, do you have the support of Nassau County, Tom Swazi, the legislators, the police department?
I think the county executive definitely has taken some great strides towards this. He developed in the Roosevelt area, the Roosevelt tag. The police department, I have a very good relationship with my precinct commander, Pat O'Connor, and he's been very on top of this issue and trying to address it. But this is just not just a county, a law enforcement issue. Our schools have to come to the plate. Our parents have to come to the plate.
Boy,
our community organizations.
That's the one theme you hear all the time. Parents have got to get involved.
Everybody has to come to the plate and be able to do their part. And once we all do our part, then we'll be able to see a better progression with our kids.
Can you get everybody, though, involved, especially the parents, when some of them are working 2 or 3 jobs and
it's definitely tougher. I would definitely say, I mean, my parents, I pretty much was raised in the 80s and the early 90s, and it's definitely hard to be a parent now in 2003 than ever has been. And it's difficult. And, you know, when I was growing up, I probably had my next door neighbor tell me if I was doing something wrong, look, you're doing something wrong. And nowadays you probably don't have that. A lot of families are pretty much onto themselves. And it's more difficult and it's more frustrating, but that's where the services that are out there and the programs that are out there, that's where they can help very young families and single-parent families as well.
And then finally for you guys, in the undocumented worker communities where they might be afraid of going to police for help or getting involved in the government or legal system in any way, they're not forever locked in a gang system if they want to get out, are they? Can they come to a place like yours, Valerie, and ask for help and not have to worry about police and all the other things that could get involved?
Yes, there are many resources that service all of the population. Again, the gang problem is affecting all families. So the resources have to provide services for any and everyone, because if you don't, then the problem continues to fester and grow. So everyone can come to many of the resources, and we often collaborate with other resources to help young people to get what they need in their families, because there are also family issues that need to be addressed as to why kids may be out.
Sometimes abuse and various
alcohol, drugs.
Valerie, finally for you, did the task force take into account the undocumented community as well?
I think they're taking into account all families need assistance. It's all kids are at risk. It's not just the undocumented. It's not just the African American or the Haitian or the different ethnic groups that are in the area. It's all children who are at risk, because a lot of times, like Valerie said before, gangs don't discriminate. And right now the town of Huntington is in the right direction, looking for this funding, providing these task force, providing these programs to really attack the situation.
All right, so the information, the resources, and the help, most importantly, is out there. Valerie, Kevan, and Valerie, thank you so much for joining me on this edition of issue. That's all the time we have. Thanks again to all my guests and also to you for watching. I'm Lee Tyrell. Enjoy your weekend.
people in this country need one.
More than 6,000 people will die waiting for one.
5,000 people will survive because we receive one.
Medical advances make it
went up in the bedroom. When the officers went in there, that the exhaust from the car that was running, they had run a hose from that exhaust into the ventilation system on the house. Our theory is that an attempt was made at suicide by asphyxiation. When that failed, we believe that Stephen Bullion one bullet in the back of to his head and then shot himself.
She was a nurse in New York City. His co-worker said he lived for the job. Police yet identified motive. In Roslyn Heights, Karen Mullen, LI Night.
Nassau County says it's stepping up its efforts to keep children safe when they participate in county programs by forcing all youth workers to be fingerprinted. It's hoped the fingerprinting will help weed out sex offenders who are just using the job to get close to youngsters. Rima Trisno explains.
The legislature making a law that will require employees of county-funded youth programs to go through fingerprinting and background checks. It's called the Fingerprint Bill, and it was crafted after last May's arrest of a Roosevelt youth program leader who police say was scheming to molest a boy.
So what this mechanism does and what our legislation does is require background checks and fingerprinting on all program agencies that are doing contract business with the county for a background check and fingerprint to be done with their program counselors, their board of directors, anybody who's going to have unsupervised contact with children.
The bill, which was unanimously approved by legislators last night, will require all prospective youth program employees to be fingerprinted by Nassau Police and checked against local and national database. Lawmakers say it is important to be able to protect our kids.
We want to give kids the confidence that they can walk in the facility and know that the person that they're with has their best interests at mind.
The Nassau County Legislature is making a new law that will require employees